In this lesson we're going to learn how to identify whether a substance is a pure substance or whether it's a mixture. So here, suppose we've got some mystery substance X here and we want to decide whether it's pure or a mixture. Now there's one simple physical analytical technique which we can use to do this, and that is to record the temperature time graph for that substance. So what we're going to do is we're going to heat the substance from the solid state and record its temperature, for example, every 30 seconds or every minute over a certain period of time. And once we've done that, we'll plot the graph and we'll use the shape of a graph to determine whether it's pure or a mixture. So if we do that and it's a pure substance, the graph will end up looking like this. And there's a number of distinct features that you can see on this graph. First of all, you'll notice that the temperature rises slowly while in the solid state until it starts to melt. Okay, and in the period while it's melting, where it's changing from a solid into the liquid state, you'll notice that the graph is horizontal. Once all of our substance X has changed into the liquid state, its temperature begins to increase again steadily until the liquid starts to boil. And during this phase, where the liquid is changing into a gas, the graph again is horizontal. So we can say that if X is a pure substance, it has clearly defined boiling points and melting point. And that is marked by the fact that while it is changing state, the graph is flat or horizontal. So we just need to trace this horizontal bit along here until it meets the vertical axis. That tells us the melting point, and again trace the horizontal part where it's changing state from the liquid into a gas. That tells us the boiling point. So we have the boiling point and the melting point clearly defined. This tells us that our substance X is a pure substance. Okay, so if your substance X is not a pure substance, then what's going to happen is you're not going to get these flat bits here where the melting point and the boiling point are clearly defined. To help us see this a little bit more clearly, let's think of an example. Your teacher has given you some liquid and you have to decide whether the liquid is a pure substance or a mixture. So we're going to assume that the liquid is not inflammable, so we can heat it directly, and we're going to record how its temperature varies with time and plot the temperature time graph. So we do that and we find that the graph looks like this. The temperature starts to rise steadily until the liquid begins to boil, and then when it starts boiling, the graph flattens off. Now that tells us that the liquid is a pure substance. And if we extend this horizontal part of the graph back to the vertical temperature axis, we find that the temperature is 100 degrees Celsius, which tells us that our liquid is water. Now if the liquid were not a pure substance, for example, if it were a solution of water and some salt, then instead of getting this flat bit here, the graph would look like this. The temperature would rise until you reach the boiling point of water at 100 degrees Celsius. Then instead of flattening off, the temperature would slowly increase, and so your graph would have some sort of gentle slope like this. This sloping part here will tell you that you've not got a pure substance, but that you've got a mixture. In this case, it's a solution of water with the salt dissolved in it.